Okay, hi, it's round two of BCS Barcelona, and the first one of this cast just because your streamer forgot to turn on the reg for round one. This round I'm gonna be joined by Zistro and Anaru
Hello,
for
hello.
the round two.
Hello.
So I'm just gonna let them commentate on this one, and we can start now.
All right, yeah. So we're starting round two. We've got Anaru, who played in that day as well, here on the left, playing Overlord, versus Just Fluffy playing as a lane. So why don't you spoil us real quick, Anaru? Did you win this game?
Do I want to spoil it? I mean, you can just look at the open and
Yeah, he discards Yamashiro, which is very scary. Tells you he has another one already.
yeah,
So two Fusos on the board there means that the one Yamashiro he does play is going to be a 3 soul base, which means it's going to be directing for 4, and it's also going to
exactly.
be a 5k body. And he's got 2 of them. Like the fact that
Yep.
he's going first and not second, I think is good for you.
I mean, it is good for me, but the thing is that in the overlord build I was running, there is literally no character that can swing for more than 3k. So this will just sit there for a long time.
Yeah, you don't have the red
No, I do
the
play the
red
clean
bomb.
cards,
Yeah, like
but
there's
not the
also
bomb. Yeah,
you're not
the
playing
red
the
bomb is
bomb
on the
here.
ban list, so
Right, yeah, exactly. So it makes it really difficult.
that's maybe why I'm not running it.
I want to talk about the Azalane's deck list real quick while we're starting this early few turns. So he's running the level 1 Noshiro combo from set 2, which I personally really like.
Yeah,
But
it
he's
is
also
really
running
good.
it with the Shimanto level 2 combo and then the old Shin. Which is
We lost.
okay,
Okay,
never mind,
no
we're
mind.
back. So he's running the top end combos I'm not a huge fan of because the strength about Noshiro is that it gives you crazy amounts of card quantity
To
but
play
very low
with.
card quality.
Yeah,
And he's
exactly.
running Shinano, which and Shimanto, both of which don't really do much with card quality. They care more about card.
Mm-hmm.
So compared to
Quantity,
like
yeah.
say Hindenburg, which is like pay 2 ditch 4 guaranteed burn 3, I think that's a much
Exactly, yeah.
stronger top end. And I also personally have really huge aversion about playing 8 bar because the chance of blind stocking a climax is
Yeah,
awful.
I'm like the number one bar hater, so I can deal with
Yeah.
this one.
So yeah, you like you said, you side attack both of his level zeros, nothing happens. You do have the level 0 Irons that can bounce
Yeah,
back and save 2
that
characters.
clocks a climax.
Class of Climax, which is really bad, and it also
Ex-
means that you're now opening up 2 more lanes. So he finds the fourth copy of the Amashira there. So you're being
mm,
sung at for 4-3-4, which is, I mean, you'd expect to
Scary.
cancel 1, but in the first deck, that's not exactly easy.
Yep. And the thing is that with Overlord, you really
Especially, yeah,
wanna reach the end of your first deck at like low 2, so you
yeah,
can cast the first Eins with as much markers as possible. And the thing is that he swings for so much damage that it's gonna kind of throw off my tempo, which means that I'm either gonna have to, if I take the level there, uh, play an Eins without a lot of markers, or if I do cancel everything, which there, as you can see, I canceled on 5, I'm gonna have to put a 9 on the second deck, so we'll need to brainstorm a lot to find my goats.
yeah.
So,
And you're
and
you're canceling the second attack, but you're also milling a lot of the goats on this attack here. So like you're getting the good deck speed you want, but it's also at the wrong tempo because like you're doing the level 1
exactly, yeah.
combo, but then there's a good chance you level up next turn and then all those goats just go away again. So it is
Mm,
really, really
exactly, yeah.
dangerous. The only thing that like you have going for you in this instance is that the cat's engine does cost a lot of hand. So he's
Mhm.
committing really aggressively here, and
Yep,
you'll get into like low to mid 1, and then he spend the rest of the game recovering, rebuilding hand, which is when you start
exactly.
pulling out the irons and winning. But again, this
Mm,
is kind of where Noshiro and the cat's engine works really good hand in hand
yep.
because you throw your hand out on cats, and then Noshiro just adds you cards again. And then you've
Mm,
got cards like the Peter Strasser, which is the helmet,
yep.
so you can
The helmet with the
convert those
mildew.
dead cards into other cards. Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, the thing is that as the overall player, around when you reach level 2, when you cast the first Eins, you will be forced to side everything since as your name plays a level 1 anti-change. And
Yeah.
if you want to respect that, the thing is, I'm not gonna reverse anything whenever I reach level 2. So they can afford to commit all the hand early on.
Mhm.
So there will only be one turn where I will be reversing everything. So they don't really have to worry about that, I think.
Yeah.
Like there, I
And there's
think I
also,
will
other than the
revert.
anti-change counter, his as the lane deck isn't really full of techs. It's like very straightforward. You know, just playing like 4 of all the stability cards. You've got the discarded bar top 6 level 0,
Exactly. Yep.
but then
Very
nothing
strong
else. He
card.
doesn't have the you know, he's not one of the strengths of Shinano compared to say Hindenburg that I think is a real downside to Hindenburg is that Hindenburg needs you to only have green and red characters. Whereas if you're playing Shinano, you might as well splash yellow for the Clock Searcher Sirius. You might as well
Yep.
splash for the 1-0 Twin Drive. You might as well
Mhm.
splash for the 3-2 on play bounce 2, which is really, really strong in this matchup.
Really strong.
And he doesn't
Yep.
have any of that. So you know, he's just trying to like play the normal game, which I think the problem with Goats is that if your opponent plays a normal game, you punish them so hard.
Yeah, but the thing there is that I only found 1 level 1 combo, so 2 of the cards will leave, because both of my 2 attackants will be 500 powers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, 1k5 was the climax, so I will be only reversing one of them.
Yeah, but you
Hopefully
get a
they
lot
took
of
some
damage
damage.
here, which is
Yeah,
really good.
that's exactly what I wanted to see. Since
Yeah,
the
like I said,
anti-change is
changing
level
your
1.
opponent's like mid 1, high level 2, maybe. He has seen both of his Sakawa, so
Yep.
combo like wouldn't really do much from anyway. And the fact that he gets to keep his cats for another turn, he's not as pressured to like rebuild hand either.
Yep.
So
And
then
there we
Time
do send a
Machine,
short tier
the
2
level 1.
memory, yep. I
Which
was
means that
debating
if he does go to
between...
combo, yeah, if you do use the Ain's bounce back, he has nothing to reverse, so you can't actually
Yep. But usually you don't really want to use the odds bounce back when he's in the back row, because you want to use it like to bounce 2 cards, because if you only save 1 card for 1 stock and 1 clock, that's
Not really
usually
worthwhile,
not really worth
yeah.
it. And there I don't have a lot of hands since I only resolved 1 combo, so I actually forgot if I did the effect or not. We'll see. Because I have only 4 cards in hand there, plus like 1 combo in memory, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing
So
is that at that point, I didn't have the 1-1 in Raging Room, so we didn't really see what I salvaged last
okay,
turn.
yeah.
But I had to salvage a drop search to make sure I can search for the 1-1 next turn. Because
Yeah.
the problem of the Overlord builds is that you don't really have a ways to salvage in the main phase, beside from the one-off salvage brainstorm that I'm running.
Yeah,
So I had
like
to make
until you
sure I
get
had...
your 3-2 online, like all of your resources everywhere are really tight, like stock and hand and everything. It's kind of tough. So we do see the 1 combo being committed there. And like I said, you know, even though it's neg value to use the Eins here, you could still deny him the on reverse draw 2. But it looks like you don't. Okay, we're just going to move to attack
No.
phase.
Yeah, I only have like 4 stock. I can't afford to do that.
Yeah, because you need to spend at least 3 to get to the Eins next turn anyway.
Yeah, plus I want to keep 1 more to... Oh, never mind. I did, but I think I bounced the other one. Yeah, I wanted to keep my brainstorm because I had nothing...
Oh, sure,
The
yeah.
plan quality was really bad. I had like, 1 level 3 combo, 1 of the 0-0, and I can't see what the last card is.
Yeah. So you've only
But
got
at
5
that point, I don't
climaxes
really
out.
care about the answers, because I think they already have like 5 to 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, just from having like 3 turns of not having to make a board. And like the
Exactly,
benefit for him here is that he's on 1-6, but he's not like clocking, so he's not building that much more hand. But you know, you are like, I think you're likely to cancel at least 1 or 2 attacks this turn as well, which is really good for your tempo. Like, yeah, there's a huge cancel coming in.
Yeah, that's huge. I
This
think I'm
one's
like
also
1
for
climax
4.
is left in deck at that point. Yep.
Oh,
exactly.
yep, that's the last cancel, I think. And so, yeah.
Yeah,
This is going to go in through the refresh, but I think you're okay with this.
Yeah, I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah, because you've still got the clock compression. You're going back, like, I think 6 or 7.
I
and
think
it's
4 goats are going back, and I think the bottom card of my clock is a goat.
Yeah, so 4
Either I
goats.
kept it in hand, I forgot. So we'll need to mill the deck with the brainstorm next turn in order to like try to get as
Again,
many
the only
goats as
downside
possible.
being that you only have 3 stock, which means you play out the 1-1 and you play out the 3-2. So if you
That
wanted
means
to
2
keep like the
stock.
drop search, yeah, you won't have the
Any
like
stock left for the brainstorm.
exactly, which is really rough. And plus, like you said, you didn't have the 1-1, so you need to either top deck it here or just like hope you find it some other way.
Some way, yep. I think my I was debating between like brainstorming and using the drop search next turn. Because if I was like, if I eat with the brainstorm, that's okay. I got everything I need. But if I whiff the brainstorm or like mill the only combo, the only copies of the 1-1 that were back into the deck, that would have been like game over instantly. So I think I went for a drop search, even if that was not as good as eating with the brainstorm. But I wanted to secure it before trying to gamble useless stuff.
Yeah, and we see there that the Anoshira adds some two really strong cards. It adds some Climax Swap and the Felix Schultz, which is Clock from Hand top X, which helps him dig for what he needs. But we know that he has this bar in hand because he searched it last turn, and he has Climax Swap, so he can definitely get into whatever
Yep,
bar he wants.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
if
I
you don't
forgot
like
which
level him
climax we
up,
triggered.
yeah,
It was the level 2 climax that we triggered.
yeah. So if he levels up, he just goes for the Shimanto line and just salvages 2 or burn 1 mil 4, which is again
Exactly.
not like in this scenario, it's not as bad for you because you've just refreshed. But in a lot of other
Mhm.
decks, like most of the time when you're on level 2, your opponent's also like mid 2 and like halfway through that refresh deck. So a burn 1 mil 4 can like really throw off their mid game compression. But I think in this
Yep.
case, it's still just gonna be decent. It is huge, but not big enough to kill an Irons. But if he
Yep.
somehow triple cancels, he also could just go for Sakawa again and try and like you've got here the 1-0 combo.
Compress and make resources.
Exactly. The only thing I am worried about is that the finishing power of Shinano is not as strong compared to, like, say, Hindenburg or Enterprise.
Yeah.
And the only, like, he's not going to be punched in that matchup because if there's one thing that Overlord, like, struggles to do, it's, like, aggressively compress, right? Like, you're going through, like, trying to heal every turn, trying to, like, find your bar
Exactly.
every turn. So you'll reach a point where
Yeah.
it's not like, those burn 2s, like, mill 9, burn 1, burn 2, those will add up over time.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't really like compress a lot because most of the compression comes from the markers. And as you can see there, I didn't get to take the markers. And this is my first level 2 turn, but since I only have one goat in waiting room, I think I will go for the burn there because there's no
Yeah.
point in only
I
taking
mean,
one
you
marker.
just paid out the second goat, it looks like. So there should be 2 goats now.
No, I think it's the only one that I had in waiting room at that point.
Okay.
I mean, I think even with 2, I wouldn't go for the goats there. I think
Yeah,
just
it's
taking
definitely
the
not
burn
worth
is
it.
probably better.
Yeah. And of course, you do have 2. We see that you have 2 bars in hand, which is also kind of rough. Like, it's good that you can then. You've got the bar to guarantee the Ainz loop, but then that's bad for your canceling because now that's 2 climaxes in the deck you're not canceling with.
The thing is that without the 2-1 that can draw 2 ditch 2 and the 1-0 that can clock 1 to draw 1, you're kind of forced to do this kind of stuff of keeping like 2 bars in hand at any point in the game. Like, I only start discarding bars when I reach 3 of them in my hand.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
where
really
like
not
the
guaranteed to
restriction
get one.
really nerfs the deck. Like you have to change your line of play, and it makes you make some suboptimal choices. But again,
you're kind of forced to.
Yeah, and the one problem with this particular matchup is like he's still got like his board is mostly cats and Noshiro. Like he's okay if you had gone for goats, he would have been okay with you board wiping this because he's just added a bunch of cards in hand to help him rebuild anyway.
Yeah, I'm still siding though, even though
think
I
so.
saw. Yeah, the thing is that the anti-change counter was in the clock at level 1, but just if somehow they played 2 of them, I had to respect it. So even there, I think I'm still siding until I blow up the board. Because I mean, it's level 0s and 1 level 1, so I don't really get that much loss if by siding.
The only downside is again, you leave the Nashira alive, so he can just combo you to like +2 cards again. You leave the cats alive, so you can just hit you for 3 soul again as well, which is again, it's not bad, but considering that you're so thin on climaxes, is not exactly a scenario you want to be in. And we see he's got like 7 stock, one of which we don't know of because he triggered a bar the turn before. So it's like his stock is mostly quite clean. So he's starting to really build that compression, and he's like pulling ahead. So he's you're 2 points ahead in damage, but he's 4 stock ahead and 2 hand in like overall compression, and he's closer to the refresh.
Overlord doesn't really care about the open compression since most of the time you'll do like burn ones. And since there I don't have the marker, I won't blow up the board next turn, so I won't have to swing for like 4, 4, and 3 because I will have 3 directs. So I'm okay with there because I'm just mostly gonna do 1, 2, 3 damages maybe at once. So as long as I can push them to level 3, if I manage to get the markers this turn for next turn, I will pretty much be able, because if I find a bat level, and my opponent is level 3, with like 5 to 7 burn 1, I'm kind of guaranteed to kill if one of the instances stick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big difference between a deck like Azalea and a deck like Overlord. Overlord is built to have multiple turns at level 3, whereas Azalea only really wants to have 1, maybe at most 2. Like, the Shinano does heal, but it's not super relevant. They are also running 4 copies of the Nagato early play heal, so the deck has access to 8 heals, but
Yep.
against something
Especially
like
with that
Overlord,
much stock, you can
yeah,
commit them.
they can do them, but it's not really going to be as relevant. Whereas something like the Azuma, which is an on-play bounce one and then burn when it directs,
Yep.
you can see that they're really going for that. Like, they're trying to push you to level 3 this turn
Exactly.
and then win the game next turn and not give you that time to like spam the burn ones.
I mean, it is fair since I just triggered 1 bar and 1 gate, so it's pretty good for them to do that. 'Cause there's a lot of chances I will be taking a lot of damages there. Because like I have 1. Okay, no, I mean I only have 1 in waiting, but
Yeah,
1 in 2 in
one in
hand and 1 in
hand,
stock.
one in
So
stock.
at
Yeah,
max 4 in the deck since I blind stock 1.
yeah. And your deck is, there's still quite a lot of cards in deck as well. So
Yep. Yeah, I
have
didn't
to
take the
assume you
marker.
take
I
at
don't
least
have a
one
lot
of
of hand.
these.
Only 3 stock, 2 cards in clock, 2 cards in level.
Yep.
So yeah, not very likely for me to cancel there.
On the Kasumi here, they're going to take the Azuma, which is, if I was in your shoes there, that Azuma is like terrifying.
Yep, that means I can no longer play for the duress counter. Since it's
that
double
full
bounce,
board,
they can
yeah.
open 2 lanes and just front into the last one. I won't have anything else to rest.
Ooh, the bar there is not ideal. And you get a
We
good
didn't
cancel.
slam a climax this time. I just realized that we discarded the climax, but not slam. That's kind of surprising. I mean, you already have like swings for 2, no 3 and 2.
Oh
I
no,
think
they
it is.
discarded the climax for the Kasumi, the top 6.
Yeah.
To add the Azuma.
But I'm surprised
then-
they discarded it instead of just playing it this turn.
I think it's because they knew there was at least one other climax left in the deck and they wanted to get through
Yeah, but
it
they
for the
had
refresh.
they had only 5 cards left in deck, so
Yeah, I don't know why they stopped
could have
at the
just
one.
triggered
I would
it.
have just gone all 6, take the refresh, and then just start compressing a fresh deck. I think that would have been better.
I mean, I would have just played the climax there, because if you have 1 in 5, just trigger it, take the blind stock, and in your one shot it's clean.
Yeah, really good cancels coming in here.
Yeah, very lucky there. I think I do take the last one though.
It's only for 1, so yeah.
Yep.
It's not that big a deal.
I'm happy to see a goat killing into the clock, because there, if I manage to heal it, it will go into. Oh, you can see me drawing another climax there.
Yep.
So I'm now 3 climaxes in hand. I think I will clock the gate there to heal down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I drew another climax, but I
gate.
drew
That's
a goat.
rough.
But at that point, what I will try to do is to heal twice. So I can, by putting down another Eins to heal the goat. And I think I will take the markers this turn in order to go for the kill next turn. Because if I heal down to 2, there are really not a lot of chance for them to kill me next turn. Because even if I'm not compressed at all, they still have to put a lot of damages through. And as we said earlier, the finisher isn't the one with the biggest range.
Yeah, the only thing to concern about is that they do have the stock needed for Azuma double Shinano.
Exactly.
Even from 2-2, double Azuma and double Shinano, it's not likely, but it could still potentially be lethal. And again, you're paying out almost all of your stock here for the the goats. The 1/1 makes the goats free, but the 0/0 is still pay 1 change, and you need to brainstorm to build that.
I think at that point I don't have any climaxes left in deck, so I'm just brainstorming in order to mill.
Yeah.
Because I will be free at some point this turn. I just need to don't let them like 10 cards without any climaxes in deck.
Yeah, and the other benefit as well is that the pay 1 ditch 1 change, you can then discard that extra door that you don't need.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
But then the downside is then I think but then you only have 2 attackers, right? The 2 Irons, because you could have a third body.
I think during this turn I will put the 1/1 in front, since I won't really need it next turn, because as long as it protects my hands for the next turn, I don't really care, because this is probably there's probably gonna be like extra turn after this one, so I don't need the protection from the 1/1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will move the 1/1 in front, because I don't really care of it being alive next turn. Yeah, but my goal is just to push them at least 3-0 in order to make my next turn threatening for lethals with the goat. So yeah, heal the door, burn 1, cancels.
Nice.
And then we heal the goat and take the 4 markers there.
Yep.
Because we at some point need to take the goats. If we don't, we won't have the
you need them in memory for the burn ones. Yeah,
exactly. I don't really care about the board wipe at that point. I just need the ability to be able to burn multiple times from the memory, and also compress a bit. So we do swing cancels.
Okay. That's 3 out of the 5 on the refresh. 4.
Cancel
So
again.
opponent only has like 1 or 2 climax left at this point.
I think they do manage to cancel one more time. Yeah,
Oh,
they do.
wow. Okay. So they're going to go into the level 3 with no clock, which again makes their heals kind of wasted. And then you've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, I think at that point I'm all 8 out.
6, 7. Yeah, 7 in waiting room, and then the last one is in hand. Yeah.
Exactly. But I need to keep it for next turn in order to send
definitely.
the go to memory. Else I'm really not sure to kill.
And then siding all lanes again, just to play around the anti-change.
And since
deck is really
once again,
thin, it's 5. But that is basically 5 clean damage.
Yep, exactly. So 5 clean damage is like 3-1.
Yeah.
But
then 3-1 is kind of
scary.
The Azumarill becomes lethal. Oh no, wait, your opponent's only 3-5, 2-5.
Yeah, they need to play themselves to 3 if they want to try to kill me there.
I mean, they can, because they clock for turn to 6 and then Felix to 3-0. But that's and we know they still have the Felix. But then this is again the downside. Like if you're playing the Shinano, there's no reason not to play the Sirius pay 1 clock one. Because it also has a Soul Icon, which is also crazy. But yeah, the Felix there could be really strong.
Especially in an 8-spark deck where you're not running that many triggers, so you're really happy to add one more, like on a Love Zero.
Yeah.
On top of that. What are we gonna do? Go for that. And the thing is that they also have the Fuso and Yamashiro's on board, which
are still 2-3 souls, exactly.
Exactly, so that can also threaten for lethal for basically like no cost. Since there are 0/0.
Clock the climax swapper. We know there's a bar in the hand, but I didn't see if it was the right bar or not.
I assume it is.
You'd have to assume so, otherwise they wouldn't ditch the climax swap.
Yep.
Grab the San Jacinto, which is an on-play stop from hand, and a Brainstorm.
Yep.
What next? So definitely lead with the Azuma. I think makes sense.
Since we did reach since the Azuma needs experience 8 to bounce 2 lanes, they had to level it's Nagato early play. So
2 Nagatos and a Shimanto, so they are on 8, yeah.
Yeah, they did reach the threshold, which means they can go for the double bounce in order to open more damages from the directs.
And they've got 9. It looks like 10 stock. I'm not too sure, so it's still enough.
Yeah,
so they can Azuma and Brainstorm, and still double Shinano.
If they have the hand for it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
obviously, you can't bounce Storm with the markers because it's got protection from the 1/1.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's an attack for 3, maybe 4 with the climax, maybe 5 with trigger, and a burn 1 on top.
One from the other effect.
Yes. And then there's the Pita, which is the helmet. The Mill 2 is mandatory. And I assume helmet for the Shinano. Milling a climax off of that is not great, though, because then that you lose damage output, which is another reason I don't like the Shinano, is that, in effect, you're kind of decompressing yourself, which is not really a position you want to be in.
And usually when you start using the finishers, you're kind of assuming that you will most likely
winning that game,
if you don't kill. So most of the time it is okay. But there are some games when sometimes you manage to survive after the finisher, so yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, the last thing I'll mention as well is I'm not really happy with how they've built their board here. Like, they played over a Yamashiro at one point. It would have been better to play over the Noshiro and then have 2 foes in the background, and then have that 3-soul Yamashiro in the front row instead, just as another body to attack with. It's a very minor thing, but in the scenario where like they need so much of the exact damage to stick because you're at 2/2, having that 1 extra piece of damage could be very relevant.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I think we just saw a Yamashiro in their hand.
Yep, they did add 1 to hand. So I think they will play it over I think it's the Sakawa, so they will have 1 extra force attacker.
Yeah, with the climax.
And
if
they keep it for if they do keep it for the last attack, then can like have maybe a side for 1 if needed on the Heinz there, because I mean they could do that with any of the characters, so that wouldn't really matter. But if needed, since she will be base 3 soul, they could side for 1. But I mean, I'm 2/2, so they will most likely need to stick at least 1 4.
I mean,
or 5 or 6.
I think we got to count. There's one climax left in the 5 cards in their deck.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I would actually just like you've only got what 4 stocks, so you can't even rest counter. So I would just front the Irons first for at least 4 clean guaranteed damage, and then attack with the Asma, ping the 1 guaranteed clean, refresh, and then if you cancel the Azuma swing, you've then got the Noshiro and the Shinano burn to deal with.
Yeah.
I think that would be the ideal order here.
Probably.
Or it looks like we might just go with the direct for 5 first. Which
I mean,
also wouldn't be awful.
On 3 on 5, if I do cancel on 6 there, that is completely over for them, I think.
Yes.
So it's kind of risky to take that gamble, but if that sticks, you're in a really good position.
And it is assault, so it is for 6. Okay. Yeah, like the entire game just depends on whether or not this damage sticks. I mean, I still think fronting the Irons was correct here. Because it prevents you cancelling this packet of damage, which obviously changes the tide of the game. Because then they've got the burn 1 on the Azuma into a clean deck, or the Shinano potential burn into a clean deck. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 15, 19, 20, 21. So yeah, your 7 climaxes in a 29 card deck, which, yeah, obviously did not cancel there. So the tide of the game is now massively changing. And now it comes down to the Azuma burn 1 cancelling or sticking. If the Azuma burn 1 can rip that climax off the top here, it's huge. But again, I think Fluffy still does have 1 climax left in the deck. So the question is, do they want to take the guaranteed 1 climax within 4 and then mill 5 in a fresh deck? Or get the Asthma to compress a bit first and then go for the burn? Oh, just getting a few questions there about clock order. Yeah, I think one of those cards was the refresh damage, which should have gone back in instead of not cancelling out. So not a huge thing, just very minor. And then here we go with the direct. Pay 1, ditch 1, burn 1. Which cancels off the top. Holy moly. So then that's an attack for 4. As long as this isn't the climax, that's great. It's not. 4 cancels. Okay. And then Shinano coming in here. Ditched the last 2 cards in hand. So, nope, it was in stock. So, refreshing 6, and then take the refresh damage, mill 6 more. This does need to mill at least 1 climax and for this whole damage to stick, though, which is not a great situation. And the biggest weakness there we see with Azalane is that because you need experience for so many of your effects, you end up putting a lot of soul icons into your level.
So you don't have a lot of soul triggers there, so kind of hard sometimes to push.
Yeah, which again, to sound like a broken record, the serious Ricky would really, really fix.
Yeah, you'll really love to see triggers on level 0s.
So refresh damage is not a climax.
Okay.
Great. 6 more cards.
I think for 6 more cards.
So
1 and
2.
2.
Oh, that's exactly what they need. And this
That is exactly lethal.
All right, and then no soul icon for exact damage.
Exactly. That's what you need to see there.
And that is a soul icon, so it's for 4. Which you cancel on 3 anyway, so it would have been fine. All right.
Yep, but that was stressful.
Yeah.
So the cancel on the Azuma burn was really scary. So yeah, but at that point it's kind of almost over. Since if I manage to play down the irons that they bounce me back to my hand, that's going to be one extra burn one. So
Yeah.
one burn one from the irons, and then that will leave me with 4 stocks. So four extra burn one with the go. Oh no, never mind. That's going to be
You've only
five
got
stocks.
4
So,
goats, yeah.
but
Because the
yeah,
fifth one is in clock.
exactly. So there's going to be at most 5 burn ones. So I will need one instance, one
To
other
stick.
instance to stick.
And they're like, even though they did just mill a bunch out of their deck, they've taken 3 climaxes. There's still 5 climaxes left in the rest of that deck, and they are pretty still like they have no hand, but they're still decently compressed. Like what, 8 stock?
Yep.
So I think here is I think Ainz is. Do you have to kill exactly how many number
Yeah,
of
you have,
goats?
it's not up to. So you're forced to
Okay.
choose as much character as you have, as the amounts of god that you have.
Okay. In that case,
So
I think
I will be
here,
forced to blow up 4.
I think then you leave. I think you put your brainstorm in front of the Yamashiro and kill everything other than the
Yeah,
Yamashiro.
I did misplay on that turn because yeah, I kept a brainstorm in front of the Shinano so they can like anchor it and it won't die.
Yeah.
I should have done the opposite, but then I killed everything but the
Shinano, I guess.
Asuma, I think, because it has it has the pay at the end encore, so that's why I decided to keep her alive because I think they
Sure.
have still one card in hand. It's probably just not shown
No,
on
I think they have no
the.
cards because they ditched them all for the Shinano combo.
I'm pretty sure I just kept it alive because they maybe had some. Maybe I just didn't see because we were running close to time.
Maybe. I mean, either way, like.
Yeah,
yeah.
that last turn that could have been better on my hand, but
I mean, I
I'm still.
definitely keep whatever's in front of the brainstorm alive because you
Yeah,
want the
for
brainstorm
sure.
to hit for 2. Like now, the brainstorm's
Exactly.
overswing for 3, which
Yeah.
is the kind of risky.
Mhm.
Oh, never mind. Your opponent then misplays back by encoring the Shinano.
Yeah, I think they are still thinking about anchoring something else there, but you definitively. I think there you don't want to anchor the thing in front of vines because you want them to swing for 4 because then you have more chances to cancel. I mean, if you take one instinct, it's kind of dead whatever happens. So you would have liked to have mine senses be as big as possible. So yeah, there I just go for the 4, triggers the bar.
I think the argument to encoring there is that because they have no hand, they need a board to swing it back with you next turn. So that's one
No,
cancel.
anchored back rows there is not really. It's not too bad, but I think they should have anchored like 2 of the back rows.
I agree. Yeah. And then for 2, which sticks, that's really good for you.
I need every of the ball one to sticks though.
If this cancels, yeah.
I did trigger 3 climaxes there, so if I kill, I am.
Ooh, the 3.
But
That's it's pretty much GG. Yeah.
Yeah, it is GG.
Not enough. Oh, that was really close. I think it's a really tough matchup because Azalane is one of those decks that
just rush you down.
it tries to control the pace of the game.
Tempo.
But Overlord already, like, Overlord plays such a different game to most Weiss anyway that you're not too bothered by it. As long as you get to that level 3 irons, as you see, like, there's always room to stabilize. But
yeah, but
like,
if they manage to screw off your tempo as it did this game, because on the first deck, I think like I cancelled most of the swings on like the last instance. So I was like stuck at level 1 on the first deck, so I had to go for the irons on the second deck, but then I didn't have goats and didn't have the resources to. Since I only managed to resolve 1-1 combo, I was forced to like use my stock to keep my hand size and grab the 1-1.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird. I considered like just never taking the goats and just going for perma burn ones, but since I managed to cancel and stay at level 2 on my second Einstein, I was like, yeah, no, I just should take the goat and hope they don't kill me one more time since I can heal twice to 2/2.
Yeah, I think that's the other big weakness about the Shinano line as well, is that it's so resource committal, and then it doesn't do anything afterwards. Where at least if he was playing the Hindenburg, the burn 3s are quote unquote guaranteed. Like, if they leave the Hindenburg for last, then you get 5 clean cards in deck.
Yeah, you don't really have any way to guarantee the burns on Shinano, like there is in like the Bang Dream Tomori finisher where you like search for 2, so you compress the deck, so then you have more chances to hit on the quote unquote brainstorm. And yeah, it's also sets up for itself since you search for 2 and you need to discard 2, so it's basically free compared to Shinano, which requires you to discard like 2 and doesn't get you in the end when you play her.
But again, it just comes down to the fact that like I said, this Azalane deck isn't really teched out. It doesn't have all these like niche bits and pieces. It doesn't have the free refresh. Azulane itself doesn't have access to stock swap or Fumio effects, which I think is really. It does have access to a Fumio, but it's blue, and this like their deck hasn't. They're playing the stock from hand and the climax swap, but it's not enough blue to justify the Fumio. So as a result, you just don't have the tools you need to like really get there.
Yeah.
But I think this is a solid build. I just much prefer Noshiro with other things, whereas if you're gonna play like Shinano, you might as well really lean into the fact that you don't have the classic restrictions. But yeah, that is going to be round 2, and congratulations on your win with Overlord. And
thank you.
there you
Yeah,
go.
it was a really scary game. Like I was like, every time they swing for like 4, 5, I was stressed out. I was like, if I take one of them, it's okay. But
Yeah,
if I take 2 of them, the game is basically just over. Like the first time where I started the game on 0-6, I was like, okay, this one is gonna be an interesting game.
yeah,
And well, yeah, I think that was it for this game.
yeah. That's it. So we'll move on to the next round.